Brothers and sisters, how y'all doing today? Hope all is well. Shalom and blessings. I want to come to you all today with a video. A thought, pertaining to the man and the woman, the dynamic and the relationship of the man and woman between the Most High and the enemy. So going to, the fourth day, where the Father created the lights, a greater light to rule the day, a lesser light to rule the night, to rule the night. So now go to the creation of the man and the creation of the woman. The creation of the man came from a sense of duty. There was not a man to till the ground, and God had not caused it to rain upon the face of the earth. But there went up a mist, and out of the ground the Most High formed man in his image and in his likeness. The man, upon being made, it explains his duties, to keep and to till the garden, duties before anything, after him. And so the creation of the woman was made in a sense of seeing that something was not good. It was not good that the man should be alone. So the woman is made in a moment of potential error, of weakness of the man. And so it's not that the woman is bad. She's made by the Most High for to accommodate the man, to be a companion unto the man, right? So if you look at it, you see that, like the sun and the moon, the sun has light that brings about the day, that makes the darkness go away. Darkness can't exist around the sun, and so the moon is a light as well. But understand that light, it shines, but darkness is around it. That's to give an example of how between Adam and Eve, Adam being first, is in a sense is supposed to have a sense of, and when I say Adam, I also just mean man. The man being first is supposed to have a sense of a light about him, because his makeup has the ability to be closer to the Most High, to take on the duties, a certain sense of duties and responsibilities that are a priority, according to the Most High. And so his relationship with the Most High is supposed to be, in a sense, stronger, Now the woman, just like how I went in the garden, the woman, and like the moon, it still shines, but understand it still gets its light from the sun. As far as we know and what they explain, the sun shines and the moon reflects the light of the sun, right? But the moon is still in the dark. And so with that, I see the moon, it has a light. The woman has a purpose, and a good purpose. But because because it's in say the woman was made in a time of weakness, she embodies that weaker aspect of the man. Still a vessel, but a part of the man, a part of his light. And so just like in the garden where the woman was tempted by the serpent went after the woman because she's naturally made as the weaker vessel. And so with this, what I'm saying is that the man has the ability to have the closest relationship to the Most High, you know. And it's not always that way in the world, like we know and like we see. But what I'm saying is that in proper order, the man has the ability to have the closest relationship to the Most High, like a son, you know. And the woman, being the weaker vessel, is also more vulnerable to, in a sense, her makeup is a sense of vulnerability, you know, feelings, you know. She's more vulnerable to or susceptible to the temptations of the enemy. And so with that, what I want to be understood is that it's a reason why, as a man, you know, there's a certain sense of responsibility, a natural sense of responsibility and duty upon the man, you know, in a sense that there are certain things in which, not that a woman is not to be held accountable for anything, but a woman doesn't have that heavy sense of duty and priority as the man. And the woman, in the eyes of the man, is more so looked at to be kept and looked after, you know, in a secure way. And upon the man handling his duties and responsibilities, she is to look to him to care for him in a nurturing way, you know. And yeah, so with that, I wanted to be understood, you know. This was a thought that came to me, and I just wanted to speak on it because it really seemed concrete, an understanding of how things are to be, you know. And even just through creation, you can see examples of life if you look at it the right way, you know. If you look at it with meaning and with purpose, you know. Like I said, the sun brings about the day, you know. Darkness can't exist where the sun is. And that's why you also understand that the serpent did not go after the man, you know. Because where a righteous man is, the serpent cannot prevail. Where a man knows himself after the likeness of the Most High truly, not just by image, but by what's within, you know, how he carries himself, his beliefs, his moral system, and his foundation being built upon the words of the Most High, which is just, you know, to say the proper order of life, you know, where a man understands that evil cannot prevail. And so a man is to be stable. A woman has because she's the weaker vessel, you know, of the man, she's a piece of him, but not as strong in that manner. So her fullness, in a sense, comes from just like what the moon does. The moon gets its light from the sun to look to the sun, to look to her man, in a way of knowing that how he leads and how he is after the manner of the Most High, you know, is what gives her life, you know. Nothing in the dark will give you life, but so long as you focus on that manner of man, that masculinity, you know, that spirit within a man that overcomes the darkness so much that where he is, darkness cannot prevail, you know, so long as you keep your eyes on that manner of man, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You know, it comes with a sense of believing. Where does the sun get its light from? You know, where does man get its light from? His light from? You know, it comes with belief. Belief in something greater. You know, something that only in a man seeking out his journey, only he can understand. You know, he can understand the depths and the importance of what life is, you know, the duties, you know, and not only just duties and responsibilities, but all understand that it all comes from a place of love. The Father created us with good intention, but possibility comes when, you know, you have a mind of your own, you know, but for this to all exist, understand that somebody had to do it the right way first, you know. And so do we throw it away? Do we continue to throw it away? Or do we seek to get right, you know, and get things back in the proper order? You know, it's not about abusing power or misusing your position, you know, because in how we were made, it all comes with a duty at the end of the day, you know. So that's to say, for a man, you know, are you a man just from the makeup? You know, do you seek to be seen in dominion merely just from how you were made, or do you actually hold yourself to a responsibility? For a woman, you know, do you seek to actually be cared for, taken care of, or just to say protected, you know, just from your makeup? Or do you actually seek to accommodate and be for that manner of man that will make it his duty also to lead you, you know? But understand that also a man's priority first is to lead. And he has to know the way, you know, in order to lead. And that's his focus. Knowing the way to life, in order to lead someone to life, or in the order of life, you know. Knowing the way to maintain it, if you have it, you know. And so, seek not to be difficult with one another, but truly accommodate one another with the duty unto the truth and true life, you know, reality. I may speak more on this topic, but that's all I got for now. And I pray y'all be blessed in the name of my only begotten Son. All praise be our Father, Abba Yahuwah. Amen.